Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
I'm incredibly broke.
Because you've spent too much on haircuts, right? Interest rates have got you because you spent too much on your haircut.
Inflation's gone up. I got a haircut today. Went to the dentist 2 weeks ago. And then also I spent money on Black Friday. So I'm putting inflation up even more as we speak.
Yeah, I spent $500 today on my wife's Christmas present, so I'm in all sorts.
Interest rates are going to go through the roof now.
All because of me.
Wait
and your
till
dentist
Christmas
bill and
comes
all that.
around. I say wait till Christmas comes around and everyone starts buying ham. I mean, how are people going to eat?
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. It's an absolute. I mean, look, in seriousness, the interest rates are fucked. But yeah, let's. I guess for anyone overseas who has no idea what we're talking about, there's a key bank person that made comments and blamed us all for buying food, going to the dentist, and like doing kind of basically essential things.
Pretty much having a fun time. We're not allowed to have fun. It is almost up there with poor people don't drive cars, which is a thing.
Can't afford an Xbox One? We've got a platform for you. It's called an Xbox 360.
Xbox, yes, it goes into that category of absolute stupidity.
Good times. All right, it's patched updates time. We talk about all the games we've been playing lately. We've both had a bit of a chat pre-show and realised that neither of us have a hell of a lot kind of to talk about, despite how busy kind of this September, October, November sort of window is. But I guess it's kind of the last of the really busy months. Matto, what have you been playing?
And thank God for that too, for the last of the busy months. Because
we'll get one like a month break.
Finally catch up on all those games. Haven't been able to play yet.
Such as
the final, as we were talking about last week. I finally finished, or completed, I should say completed, the Cyberpunk DLC.
Nice.
And I give it 2 thumbs up.
It's the perfect scoring system.
I say if I had 3 thumbs, I should get it checked, but also that's what it deserves.
But you would give it a 3rd if you could.
I'd give it an extra thumb if I could. No can do. And
does it
now puts.
Yeah, I guess like coupled with the patches and all those sort of things that come out, like does this all save Cyberpunk 2077 now? Like, am I safe to go and play it? And should I expect to have a good time?
You are well and truly safe from playing it now.
Good.
And you will definitely have a good time because it's only taken them 3 years to fix up everything and pretty much revamp the skill tree, which was a good idea because their skill tree in the old Cyberpunk game was stupid.
Yeah.
There was just way too many things that I couldn't understand. Now, you can slightly understand it better. And I still don't care what things are like. Yep, that'll do.
Shooty, bang, bang, let's go.
Shooty. Which one makes me shooty, bang, bang, punch, face? That's the one I want.
Wreck bricks.
Yes, and I will now put CD Projekt Red back into companies I now trust, which it lost its credibility when Cyberpunk came out. They fixed it up, got it better. Then The Witcher 3 came out on Xbox Series X and PS5, and if you had the copy, you could upgrade it for free. So also a win. And then they brought out the DLC this year or last month, and it's a winner.
Good.
Will it win Best DLC at the Game Awards? Who knows? It's up there, but yeah, I can't say because it's the only DLC I've played all year, so I can't really say yes, it's the best one.
Yeah, because you still haven't played things like that Horizon expansion, and I mean, does even Diablo and the amount of updates that have already come out for that, does that qualify? Like, there's all these sorts of, let alone the other things that fit in that category and are nominated. There's a lot going on. Hell, Resident Evil 4 put out that DLC pack recently.
The Ada one, yes.
I guess I'll talk about it soon, but like even Tales from Arise from 2021, there was a big expansion for that I went through and reviewed and think pretty positively of that. So there's been a lot kind of going on for big games that were already lengthy as well, adding substantial chunks of extra content. So good times.
Also a game that people thought was never going to recover too, and they've done well.
They've saved it.
Saved it, which I never thought I'd say because I was there for years making fun of Cyberpunk because it was rubbish, and then they said, "Hey, we've made it better." And guess what? they did.
It is a really fascinating one. Like those who kind of said, okay, we've completely lost our faith now in you, CD Projekt Red. Like to see where the majority of those people do stand now, because I mean, obviously you've just kind of expressed your opinion there. At the end of the day, they did have to save their game. So I don't know, the trust might go as far as, well, I'll actually still believe it when you launch a game day one in a functional state for some people, and I wouldn't blame them for that. But for me personally, even though I haven't played the updated 2077 yet, I trust them again for Witcher 4 and the remake of the first and those myriad of different Witcher titles that we've all got going. So
yeah, I really feel like that they're not going to do it again, because it was bad when they first did it. I don't think they'd do it again with The Witcher, especially because that would be even more furious people. Even though Cyberpunk sold more than The Witcher 3, I should say, but you're still going to get those Witcher fans in the books and the TV shows and all that who are going to come and play it. So well, I don't think they'll do it again.
Well, and I mean, look, the thing that I guess is kind of almost the disclaimer on the whole Cyberpunk 2077 thing is the fact that the PC version worked great guns at launch. It was really those console versions, of course, they were PS4 and Xbox One games, and really, if CD Projekt was being brutally honest, the game was never really a last gen game anyway. It was always designed to be PS5 and Xbox Series, but they tried to make it, bring it backwards, and it didn't work for them. So, the result was the result at that point. So unless they're going to launch the next core Witcher game into this weird sort of limbo, I mean, which they possibly could with the amount of time they've had to commit to fixing up Cyberpunk, but unless they're going to be launching The Witcher 4 or whatever into another blurry period between generations, then I'd trust them completely. They just tried to bite off too much with the PS4 and Xbox One and couldn't do it.
And then probably the leaks and people getting impatient of hurry up and release this damn game, and they've just gone, you know what? Here it is. You wanted it? That's what you got.
Warts and all.
Warts and all. Garbage and all.
So what else have you been playing then?
Well, our next game is a game you've recommended to me many times. You're like, oh, you should play it. You'll like it. You'll play it. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for it to go on sale. It went on sale. It wasn't Black Friday or anything. It just was on a discount. I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy it. That's the most fun I've ever had with fishing since Ocarina of Time. It is Dredge.
Nice.
I know
just in time for the DLC as well.
Yeah. I know there's a story to it and everything. Like, oh, I'll go find the rogues. So like, no, I want to do some fishing instead. I'll have more fun fishing and finding materials that I can't afford to upgrade.
Avoiding going insane.
Or going insane. Yes, it is probably the first game I've ever played where it recommends you have sleep.
Yeah, you totally need to.
I find absolutely amusing. It's like some man goes like, oh, you look tired, you should go to bed. It's like, no one in the game has ever told me to go to bed, ever.
It's super important to do it because, I mean, have you gone for like days without sleep and seen what happens?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I get scared at night because there's monsters in the water. And one big monster bit my motor, and then I was stuck just paddling it along for a long time before I could get it repaired. I thought, oh no, I can't do this yet. I need a faster boat. Or
it's bad enough going out at night, let alone if you're then tired and just the insanity meter goes through the roof, and the stuff that's already dangerous enough becomes so much worse.
It's also the fact if you don't have a good light either, there's just this rock that magically appears in front of you. Like, whoa, try and turn, and then you hit another rock. You just like, ah, shit.
And all of your key pieces of equipment are just falling off the side of your ship at that point. It's a bad time.
All for one fish that you need to get for no reason whatsoever. It's like, oh, I need to get this fish. It's like, oh, hey, you got it, great. Here's some money. Like, win. I can buy that new fishing rod I've always wanted.
Yeah,
it's great.
Pretty much.
That's all I want. Fish.
But it's such a good game, and like thanks to Team 17, I've actually got a code for the expansion. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet because of some of the games that I'll discuss shortly. But very, very keen to get back to it because it's absolutely one of the best games of the year.
It's my best indie game of this year because it's also the only
one
game I've played this year. So that's going to narrow it down pretty easy for the patches next year.
Who knows? You could still save it with December ahead.
Oh. Wasn't there another indie game that came out earlier in the year? I can't remember what it was.
I mean,
Oh, when's
there's
Plucky Squire coming out?
nah, not till next year.
Ah, damn it. What about the Angry Foot?
Angerfoot next year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a whole bunch of that Devolver stuff that you were kind of keen on is 2024. So, I mean, there's
What
been
about
heaps of good
Return of
indies.
Voldy?
But I don't think Sea of Stars will be your thing as an example,
Oh, you never
which is
know.
probably one of the, I guess, biggest competitors probably to Dredge in that space. But yeah, Cocoon is another one from some of the ex Limbo
yes.
and Inside developers. So that there's a few really high quality indies out there. I'm sure if I go and check my phone and stop watching the football, then I'll probably find a few. But
But it is the second best thing to come out of New Zealand since Lord of the Rings.
well,
It's
it's
higher
certainly,
than
not
Russell-
their cricket team, right?
It's higher than Russell Crowe. Or maybe, Sam Neill. Oh, Sam Neill's a pretty good guy. Cricket team, did they win a trophy?
Nah.
No, no one cares. Did
Neither
they
did
win
the
a rugby
Indians, funny
trophy?
enough. A
Oh,
lot
did they?
of moral victories here, in the eyes of some.
It's weird. I don't think I heard them at the game because, they're all getting out. The silence of that stadium.
Oh, it was such a good time.
The joy. It's
Sucked
just
in
like,
India.
Oh, big cheers. Well, imagine all those Indian viewers listening to us and going, we've lost them all now.
Well, yeah, they've clicked off.
Oh, dear.
So Dredge, you're loving it. Plenty more still to do. Maybe you'll check out the DLC down the line.
Plenty of more fishing to do.
But what's next?
Treasure hunted. And then the final one of my games of this month is the one I talked about last week as well. I just started playing it. Haven't yet finished it. It is a man named Alan,
Oh, Alan,
and he's awake.
wake.
And it's the second time. And, oh man, what a game.
Are you done with it yet?
No,
No.
I'm close. Well, I think I'm close. It's one of those things where you think you're close to the end and then it just carries on for another 3 hours. You're like,
Yeah,
no,
right.
I'm not near the end at all. It's one of those things. That was the same with Cyberpunk, because the DLC, I thought, I'm close to the end. 7 hours later, oh man. Well,
How
I was
long was
close.
that DLC in the end? Like, how long did it take you to finish that part of it?
Because I did everything that could be done in that DLC. If you just went for the story side of things, you probably do it in like, I'd say 12, 13 hours.
Yeah, right. Okay. On top of the core. I mean, it's
think
good
I'm
chunk
at
of content.
about the 21, 22 hour mark,
Yeah, right.
because I'm just doing everything.
Extra stuff. Yeah.
Extra stuff. Because I think in total my Cyberpunk game, I've played for about 96 hours.
Jeez, it's good value.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good value. And
Especially considering some people could have picked that game up for like $20 when it was, when everything was an
when
absolute
it was
mess.
down, when it was absolute shambles. And now they're bringing out an Ultimate Edition, which is probably going to be like $100. So
Oh, they're going to try and make all their money back now.
who's the idiot now? Everyone.
Yeah, everyone really. I think at different
the
points,
critics.
everyone.
And
How are you finding Alan Wake though? Anyway, like from what you have
I do
played.
like it. It's great. It is very. I wouldn't say it's necessarily very different. It's still got the same. What do we say? Supernatural.
Yeah, the
side of
supernatural
things,
suspense
with
sort
a
of.
little bit more. I'd say added horror this time around. And I think some people say, "Oh, it's a Resident Evil 2 ripoff." Like, to some parts, yes. The whole infantry system, yeah, sure. You can compare that to Resident Evil 2. Torches, yes. Does yours have a funny beam on it that burns enemies? No. Resident Evil 2 does not have that. Does it have shotguns? Yes. Guns? Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Flares.
similarities and a lot of points of difference at the same time.
But it's also I look at it as well, it's just everything from previous Remedy games put into one.
Yeah,
And Sam Lake.
lots of
I-
Sand Lake.
Lots of Sam Lake, and it's not a bad thing, which I found out he's like a bit of the owner of Remedy games, and he's also like the lead story person, whatever.
Yeah,
you
he's
think,
studio
what are-
head. He's the lead narrative designer. He acts in it. Sam Lake must never sleep, really.
Sam Sleep, but also same thing. He's not terrible. He's absolutely brilliant. It as well. It still messes with my head. I'm thinking, is he playing Alex Casey or is he Max Payne? I know it's Alex
Yeah,
Casey.
but you
It just
gotta-
feels weird because he was the, I think the model for.
Yeah, he was the
Max
model for
Payne.
Max
Not the
Payne.
voice, not the voice, just the model. I was looking at it going, Is it Max Payne or is it?
Well, I mean, we've
someone
got
else?
Max Payne remakes on the way. Like, are they going to use?
And I'm looking forward to
They're
it
going
as
to
well.
use him again, or are they going to finally go? Okay, we've got the budget, and we've already now got Sam pretty prominent in Alan Wake. We probably don't need this confusion. Let's go with someone else or a different look.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait for it. If it's the remake, looks like what Alan Wake 2 looks like, I am all for it. Because I'll have super fun with it.
It's
and if they bring
gonna
in
be a good time.
some Rockstar slow motion gunfights, I'm in. But there was one thing I read an article about Alan Wake 2.
Oh yeah, go on.
Not bad. It wasn't a terrible thing. It said the game's great, but they need to remove one thing from the game, which is guns. And I looked at the thing and I thought, yeah, okay.
You're not surviving much of the horror without them.
But I think that's the thing. But the way they explained it, I got past all the things like, yeah, Alan Wake 2 is a great game, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, give me the guns part. And he came to the guns part. He said, it's great. The whole suspense is great. The jump scares are great. I mean, I've never been scared shitless half the time when those jump scares come in. It's just the faces just out of nowhere.
Yep. And
then he says, when it comes to the guns, it's just pretty much a pew 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 situation. I think, you know what? They do have a point to some, but then the question is, how do you just one survive of enemies? You can't just flash them all the time.
I mean, that's what worked for the first game, right? Blast them with the light and then take them. So there was kind of method to it, and it was also their way of kind of going, well, our shooting mechanics aren't necessarily the best here, so this is our way to kind of make it a bit more accessible.
Yes, let's just get a flare gun and just solve that altogether.
Which is a much better option than VATS in Fallout. So Bethesda couldn't make it couldn't make shooting mechanics, design shooting mechanics, and so we created Anyway, I look forward to a Fallout maybe one day where they don't have that, and who knows, maybe I'll like Fallout at that point.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm ever going to like Fallout.
Could be a while if that's the case.
Well, yeah, 2035 probably at this point.
Probably never.
The way we're going.
This rate. But I say it also feels weird too that it is more of an open world to some point, unless you're doing the story, which goes a bit more linear.
Yep.
But the one thing is like with the guns, like you go for a bit of explore, and then you come across some random cult leaders, or we'll say cult leaders because that's what it is in what I would say the real world, not the dark presence.
Yep.
It does get a bit annoying because they just keep appearing out of nowhere, and then you run out of ammunition. Some do drop ammunition,
but not enough.
Some don't, but not enough because you put in about 17 bullets. Like, oh, cool, I've got 40 bullets. Then you put 20 into one. Then you got and then you look at your guns. And you go, oh no, I've got no bullets left. I've run out of
not enough for the job.
It's just one of those things. Like, I really want to explore, but at the same time, I don't want to explore because I'll just end up shooting people when I don't need to shoot people, because I want to find all those stashes. They're just there on my map, and I want to look at them and see what's in them. See what goodies are in them.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to spend more time with it. I just haven't even gotten close in the last month. Thanks to reviews and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I think the one thing that is brilliant in it is the live action cutscene or scenes, I should say.
Yep.
And it makes it so much better. If it was like, I don't know, animated, I should say. That they got the actual actors in who play Alan Wake, because he plays himself twice.
Oh yeah, of course.
And yeah, it's great. Like, I was just looking at it going, oh, if I had popcorn, I would eat it whilst watching it, because I'm hooked. Just watching it, I go, oh, what's going to happen next? And then you go back to the game, you're like, oh shit, hey, I've got to run away.
Everything I hear is so good, and I mean, I loved the original Alan Wake, and I was like day one when it first came out, but yeah, circumstances have just been shit, and I haven't gotten there so far, but it's just a good reminder to get there, and it's a good thing December's going to be pretty light, so at least right now, you know, I can't rule out Jeff dropping like some stealth launch, suddenly Hollow Knight Silk Song comes out at the Game Awards. Can't rule it out.
It's also
that terrifies me, actually. The prospect of that happening terrifies me at this point.
Finally, it comes out like, ah, damn it.
This is my chance. I can catch up on everything, and then it comes out at the worst possible time.
Go for another DoorDash promotion or something. Don't do this again, Jeff. But I will say, playing Alan Wake 2 makes me want to go back and play Control.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well, they're all connected,
also
right?
say too, you don't need to play the first Alan Wake or Control to figure out what's going on in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, cool. But you
Because the way I
appreciate it
look
more,
at
though.
it, because the way I look at it, if you're the FBI agent, you're pretty much doing what the FBI agent's doing, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And there are a few people, or one from Control, I won't say who,
Yeah, don't, because I'm...
and yes, the Central Bureau of Control's in it, but they're not, I would say, really part of it.
Yeah, okay.
They're just there. Just there. If you didn't know who they were, you wouldn't care. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's exciting.
Hey, it's them. I was looked at and went, oh, hey, it's them. What are they doing here? They just carried on because they're not part of the story. I'm looking for Alan.
Alan?
That's what I'm looking for.
Fair enough.
That's it.
That's it.
That
Well, for me, there's a bit like you. There's not that many. I kind of alluded to Tales of Arise before and the DLC that I was playing there, the Beyond the Dawn expansion, which is pretty cool in some ways. It kind of picks up after the events of the main game itself. I guess spoilers for people who are still wanting to play Tales of Arise. Like you had kind of two different essentially countries in the end, and they essentially very JRPG, basically just got merged into one at the very end of the game there, and you got the residents that kind of hate each other of those two planets kind of now having to coexist. So it kind of picks up after that, and there's a bit of tension. There's a lot of remnants from what had happened before that are still kind of lingering around, even though the big bad had kind of been dealt with. It's a kind of fascinating story that they spin from it, but it definitely doesn't, I guess, hit the notes of the core game. And I think that's kind of the issue that a lot of DLCs face, like story DLCs always face for games, is that like how can whatever they tell here rival the scope and scale and size and importance of the actual core narrative itself. So the Beyond the Dawn expansions, like the story is fine, it's engaging, it keeps you going through. Mechanically the game is basically identical. They haven't really thrown any new systems or anything at you, which kind of sucks, or new environments really either. So it's not really ideal in that sense. So it does leave me wondering why it took 2 years for this expansion to finally come out. But anyway, it's still pretty good for what it is. People who enjoyed Tales of Arise will absolutely enjoy the expansion, but you won't enjoy it to the same level, I guess. Glad it came. It was a good opportunity to go back. The visuals of that game are still so good. Were you hearing the rain as well?
I was, yeah.
Clearly it started for both of us at the same time.
I wasn't sure if I was hearing things. I was like, hey, is that rain? It is rain. So
I think we're meant to get like a week of it now. So anyway, that'll more time to stay inside and play games.
We're back in a season of rain and possible thunderstorms for the next 3 months.
Summer, everyone.
Even though there's no thunderstorms around. Yeah. It's just possible thunderstorms. Nah, it's not going to happen.
So that's Tales of Arise. I very, very briefly, I'll touch this one because I've got, I guess, content around it popping up elsewhere. Twisted Metal, the original one. It was a PlayStation Plus Deluxe tier, kind of like one of the classic games that got added there. I took that for a spin because it's going to be in the second issue of RPM, so Sandeep Rai's retro PlayStation magazine. I've got a review of that popping up there, so I'll say no more because the Kickstarter doesn't go live until after this episode of patch goes up, but people can go pop their dollars on the second issue. It'll probably only cost you about $10 including delivery to get it over to Australia. It's a really, really good deal, actually.
An actual magazine?
Oh yeah, we launched the first one.
Paper?
Yeah, paper magazine.
It's in paper?
I mean, you can get it digitally too, but yeah, it's kind of
in your hand.
That sort of size, like it's a little A5 sort of size thing. Heaps of content in it, and it's all retro PlayStation stuff. You can get it digitally, you can get it physically. The first issue's already out, but you can go buy it from Sandeep's Etsy store. But then the second issue Kickstarter goes live in a couple of weeks. In a couple of days at this point. And I hope people throw some money on it because I think we're putting together a pretty cool thing with what we're doing with that platform. I'm already now starting to work on what happens for the third issue of the magazine, so it'll be good.
Next article saying I want an Infamous game and I want it now.
Have I squeezed Infamous in there? Actually, I've already got something in place for.
Oh,
is it the third issue as well that I've already done? Yeah, I think so. I can't remember how he was using it in the end. I can't remember if we put it in the second or if he's holding it for the third in the end. But Yes, I reference Infamous soon enough. Um, I guess another game that's kind of consuming a bit of time, it's still ongoing, is Star Ocean, the second story art. It's just been a JRPG month for me for the most part. The remake of Star Ocean, the second story from the PS1, which I don't know if you saw any footage of it, just trailers that might have popped up or whatever. It's leaning into like the HD 2D sort of thing that Square Enix has been doing, and so the very like pixelated characters and stuff.
Farming game?
No.
No, okay. It wasn't the one of the 20 farming games I saw in one
No,
trailer.
no.
Okay.
No, like it's absolutely just a kind of traditional-ish JRPG, but it's got like the pixelated, like pixel art characters as kind of what you would expect from games of that sort of era, but then the environments are all modern 3D stuff. So it's this really interesting, like it looks it sounds weird. It looks great though. So like I'd recommend anyone watching and listening who hasn't seen it. It's like sounds weird when you kind of hear it described to you, but if you go like if people check it out, so second story, Star Ocean, the second story, specifically R being short for remake, go check that, and it's a really fascinating kind of visual contrast that they're going for there. But otherwise, the game itself is the game from the PS1 and the PSP.
Oh.
What do you think now you're seeing it?
Yeah, no, I think I just do remember it. Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's a really cool style where they've kind of gone for like modern.
It is pretty cool.
Modern stuff in the environments and everything else, but then
it's got like with 1980s characters in 2023 visual.
Yeah.
Environments. Yeah, I can get around that.
And then it's kind of the HD 2D thing that Square Enix has been doing, but in 3D. So it all works a treat. It's
just, oh god.
It's messing with your head.
2.5 million, but in 3D. It sounds weird, but it's good.
It's so Square Enix. It's not funny when you think about it that way. Like we can bundle this sort of approach in the same basket as the Kingdom Hearts naming conventions, really.
Oh no, please. What I found out about Kingdom Hearts is Haley Joel Osment is one of the main.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought he just disappeared for a few years. Like, no, he's actually been
in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. It's like, there you go. That's what he's been doing this whole time.
Go figure.
There you go. Don't see dead people.
I've also been playing, and I guess it's the last game that I'll talk about, but it's the one certainly that's consumed a lot of my time over the course of the. Well, I referenced it last month that I had a game I was playing and I wasn't able to talk about it, but and actually I can't remember if by the time we did that patched episode last month if I was actually done with it or not. My trophies haven't been able to sync yet because the game still isn't out as of when we record this, but just earlier this morning, a few hours ago, as of when the episode goes live, my review of SteamWorld Build went up. Which is not Dig, like the mistake I made before pre-show. Comes from the same team who's done SteamWorld Dig and Dig 2 and Heist and Tower Defense and Quest and all that sort of stuff. Comes from the same franchise, I should say. New team working on this one, but it's still equally as good. It's kind of half city builder, half dungeon crawler. You're building out the town up top, but then with to kind of progress and kind of get the stuff that you need to build the town greater, you need to go down to the dungeon and collect all the sorts of materials and those sort of things that are required for certain, whether it's your scientists or whatever, to kind of do what they need to do in their labs, and then the engineers to do what they need to do, like all like the different kind of, I guess, classes above the ground require certain resources, and those things come from different layers of the dungeon underneath. So you just start digging deeper and deeper and deeper into that. You're finding pieces of a rocket, like kind of key components to build a rocket that will then allow you to fly away because the planet's basically cooked. It's a really cool game. Like I was a little concerned, especially because I was playing it on PS5, that a lot of kind of Sim City style kind of big city building sort of things don't necessarily translate super well to a controller, but they've actually done an amazing job with it. It feels really logical for the most part. There was only one moment where I was having control issues, and I realized it was actually because my controller was running flat. Everything's been perfect in terms of the way it handles. So that says a lot, considering the kind of fail rate for a lot of these sort of games when it comes to consoles and like getting the controls right for consoles. So they really nailed the game. It's a blast to play. It's still got that typical sense of humor that people kind of expect from the SteamWorld games. Like they've got a really quirky sense of humor, and this new team has nailed it still. The game's out December 1st, so people should absolutely go and check it out. A couple days from now, as of when this episode goes live. The review embargo was a couple hours ago as of when this goes live. So go check out written review, YouTube shorts. Maybe I will have done a video review. I really should have, considering the amount of time I've had. But naturally, I've left the review, writing the review till the absolute last minute, even though I've been done with the game for a month. And I'm really excited for us to get to launch day as well. And for the trophies to sync. I referenced that before because I couldn't tell you exactly when I finished. But I'm fairly sure, considering how long it's been now that I've had the game and how long it's been since I platinumed it, I feel like this might be the first game ever where I'll be the first person in the world to actually platinum a game.
I'll laugh if you get there and you're like the second or third
if someone else has done it, or it's like
like 30 seconds is just that much.
Like, you watch, it'll be like a developer on the team, and I'll never know that, but I'll just see some name ahead of me. It'll absolutely drive me insane because I got a bit of a sniff that I could do this, and I was pulling stunts like to leave the PlayStation on at night while I was grinding out the like you got to cut down, like one of the trophies, cut down a certain number of trees or whatever it is, and like that is a very slow process as the relevant buildings do what they need to do. So you just, like, I put it on double speed, I changed my PlayStation settings so it wouldn't go to sleep overnight, and then I just let it go, and I had to do that over a couple of nights just to get there. And there was other trophies that kind of required similar, it was like lay a certain amount of road. And so I was basically like hitting a certain number of like total cumulative kilometers worth of road across multiple, however many campaigns you want to go through. And so I was like laying road, then deleting and destroying all the road, and then laying more road, and just like this loop over and over and over until eventually I popped the trophy. It was just there was some bullshit on my end to try and fast track some of those at the end. Once I realized, hang on, there's a chance that I could be the first in the world for this. So we'll now wait and see what happens. That's a few days away, I guess, at this point. Or maybe they'll sync the trophies at the time of the embargo. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But I don't know. It's setting that aside. It's an awesome game. People should absolutely go check it out. It's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox. It's on Switch. It's on PC. People will be able to get it wherever they want it. And it is another really great game. What was that?
Steam Deck.
Yeah, surely it's on Steam. SteamWorld on Steam Deck. It's got to be. It's the match made in heaven.
Oh, how can you not think of that? Get Steam. What is it? Build on Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their next game. Steam Deck.
Surely.
On Steam Deck.
And it's exclusive to Steam Deck. It doesn't work on a PC. For some reason. Somehow.
It'll drain the shit out of your battery on a Steam Deck.
Yeah. So that's kind of me done. What do you see yourself playing over the course of the next month or so?
More fishing.
Good.
On my little
Dredge.
boat. Get Alan Wake 2 finished, and then finally get onto playing Spider-Man 2 because I haven't yet even touched that.
You've shown a lot of discipline.
Oh man, I mean, I can't do like 3 games at once because otherwise I'm never gonna get those games finished. Because at one stage I had like 4 games going. I thought, nah, hang on, I've got.
It's too many plates to spin.
Way too many. And they're all big games too, so I can't just like, oh, I'll stop this one, do this one. Otherwise, I'll be there for a year just doing 4 games, trying to finish them all off.
Yeah, it's fair.
You can't do it.
No, it becomes
too
much.
You can't do it this day and age.
And yeah, I mean, I kind of referenced it before, but who knows what's going to come of the Game Awards now? I mean, Hollow Knight launching would destroy me, but like, I feel like there's a good chance that there'll be some day and date launches come off the back of the Game Awards. We'll do a predictions episode next week ahead of that showcase. But there could be some cool games that launch day and date that we might be interested in, so that might give us something else to do. But otherwise, a bit like you, I'm hoping for it to be a month where I can just kind of catch up on things a little bit. There's only 2 new releases that I'm interested in. That is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Because it's kind of Far Cry, but there's
Pandora.
Yeah, there's kind of if I go really simple, it's Far Cry and Pandora, but there's obviously other aspects too that look pretty cool in their own right. And then obviously SteamWorld Build I've already finished off, but there's a Dragon Quest game that comes out on the 1st of December as well. So lightly interested in that. So we'll see how it all goes. But otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty quiet month, so that'll be the opportunity, hopefully, to go play Alan Wake, to go play Assassin's Creed Mirage, and then to start working my way through the backlog of games that kind of piled up. I still haven't tackled Resident Evil 4 at all. yet. Dead Space I want to go play. I do want to go.
Another game.
Hey,
Resident Evil 4 is probably another game on the list that I've got to get around to play as well.
Dead Space. I do want to actually finish Forspoken, as weird as that sounds with all the other games that have kind of come out this year. Forspoken's one that I do want to give a crack to. So I'm just hoping that Jeff doesn't spring anything on us that's too significant, because I don't want December to be interrupted in its current form. It's not too bad. And even kind of casting an eye into January, like there's a couple of weeks spare before things start to pick up. For me, I've only got some people will be losing their mind over Like a Dragon and Tekken and those sort of things. For me, there's only two, which is I guess as things stand, which is Prince of Persia and The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. I can't help myself. I still need to play The Last of Us. I also really want to see the cut content, which I think is a very cool thing that they're doing. And for people to have to spend only $10 to access it, I think it makes it a bit more. Well, sorry, if you owned it before, you only have to spend $10. So I think that's the right way to do it. If you're going to do it,
especially a game that came out 3 years ago.
Exactly.
5 years ago.
But I mean,
it was.
do you know of any games where they've put like cut content? No, here it is. This is the stuff that didn't make the cut, and it's kind of advertised that way. They've got like directors commentary over the top, all that sort of stuff. Like they're actually gone pretty deep when it comes to what they're doing with the core game.
No, because they haven't got an idiot fan base who go, oh my god, they're remastering that game from 5 years ago. Quick, let's put some extra shit in there just so they buy it or upgrade it for $10.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal is now Joel. We've got rid of that other guy.
Apparently, you can free play the guitar now.
What? Free play?
Well, you had like there was the guitar sequences and you could play them there, but
you get those ice cream scoop things and just play with your VR.
Oh no, I mean like before you'd be kind of having to play the notes of particular Pearl Jam songs and whatever, but now it's you can because all the notes are there, so you can still string together the right chords to make whatever song you want.
Oh, okay, I see now.
So they've got a few different things that they're doing. There's the what's the word? Like the roguelike mode that they're adding in there.
Factions.
No, it's like straight up roguelike mode that they're adding in there, which is going to be pretty intense. They've added plenty of cool things to it, and which actually when you go, oh, it's going to cost you $10, they're actually adding a lot to it for $10. But I still totally get all the skepticism from others, so we'll see how it all goes. But anyway, they're January, so we've got a bit of time for that, and who knows what's going to drop in there in the meantime. Any other thoughts at all?
No, just hopefully have a quiet month of non-released games, and I can finish off these other games that I need to finish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get
to. Yeah, it'd be pretty good if there's a bit of a dry spell for a while and we can actually kind of work through a backlog, because
great.
I'm hoping, and I think we
just go back when the consoles got released and there was no games for 2 years. Can we go back to that for a little bit?
That'd be good. I'm really, really hopeful, and I think we said this when we did the GTA episode. I'm really, really hoping that GTA's launch is just what scares a whole bunch of developers and publishers away. And so as a result, we just get like a really quiet year as a result. Or, it might be ugly and it's really front loaded. There's heaps of stuff early in the year potentially. And, even as we look at things now, there is Like a Dragon, there is Tekken, there is those, those couple that I mentioned there. There's Helldivers, there's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, the first couple months are getting pretty stacked. And that's not even really factoring, like Xbox hasn't really announced anything in terms of their timeline yet.
They're probably the same, just wait for when GTA 6
Well, they'll know.
drops.
Reality is they're at top level brass will probably know already. So
and then the Xbox tax will come in.
the Xbox tax has been bubbling up a little bit in the last few days.
Man.
The internet is just a bad place.
Gone crazy for Xbox tax
and inflation.
And inflation and haircuts and God knows what else those idiots think of.
It's a good time.
5G towers.
Oh, back to 5G. COVID. Anyway, let's wrap things up. If you enjoyed this episode of Patch, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to all new videos at the moment they go live. Heaps of, I've referenced all the SteamWorld stuff that's coming. Go check out all the previews. There's
SteamWorld.
SeaWorld, the SteamWorld stuff that's all that's all coming out, or has just come out. Go check all that stuff out. There's heaps of cool stuff there. Visit the website player2.net.au for reviews and all the other cool stuff that's going on there. Some cool features that we're going with. And I will just acknowledge the thing that like Matt posted it recently, that we are an Amazon affiliate now. We are doing a few things to, I guess, bring a little bit of additional income in there and basically save Matt Hewson's hip pocket at the moment. Who's been paying Player 2 out of his own pocket for years. We're keeping it really low key and non-intrusive. There's, there'll be. I mean, we recently put up a hype check feature about Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, and basically at the bottom there's the option to go to Amazon and go and pre-order the game or buy the game if you choose. And basically all that is an option. Like, we will take a little cut. I don't even know how big it is. Matt's kind of. I think it varies a little bit. I don't really understand the stuff. But Player 2 gets a little cut from Amazon of any sales that come via our affiliate links. So go check that out. Go check out the stuff, and if there's something there that you're keen on, pop some money on the game or whatever it is and enjoy. Anyway, there's Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers, early access, high tiers, monthly episode exclusives, and finally Twitter. Matto?
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. Thanks a lot for watching. Go play some games. Hopefully the little month and a half long drought is upon us. And we'll see you later. Game drought, not drought.
Game drought. That'd be a great game.